This is gonna cause a bit of a stir. This one.
If you want to think it is, then it will.
I think I know what this is.
Yes, is James Tavernier.
Oh, I thought it was something different.
Is he classed in the best 11 of Rangers history? So, is he the best right back we've ever had?
It's Craig's coin toss.
Craig, heads or tails?
It's got to be tails. It's got to be a tails. We've got to have a tails at one point.
It's a head.
Was that 4 heads in a row?
Yes. Fuck. So, Scotty, what are you going to do this time? He wants to be pro.
I'll argue he is.
Okay, right.
I'll argue he is.
Okay. Craig, take it away. Why isn't he?
Lack of trophies. Yes, we've won a couple of decent ones and we got to a European final. His defensive side isn't anywhere near good enough. We can all have a debate about him as a captain. By the way, I'm saying all this and I absolutely love Tav, so I could probably do the Scotty job and argue the other side as well. The amount of big games where he's completely shit the bed defensively, games against Celtic where we've been absolutely trounced and he's been at fault for goals. I'm just looking at his face.
He's now thinking, why the hell did I ask for this one?
Yeah, I mean, there's a list we can have for why he is and why he isn't, and for me, he's just not. He's probably not. I'd probably put another right back or two ahead of him.
I read Gaz's comment. Can you just pull it up?
Yeah, that's what.
I love Trevor Stevens, let alone.
Do you know what? Right, Trevor Stevens is a very good player. Now, if we're talking modern day fullback,
I think Gaz is meeting Gary Stevens rather than Sandy Jardine.
What do you mean? Well, he means Gary Stevens instead of Trevor Stevens.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. If we talk modern day right back, he's so far up there. It's ridiculous because if we talk about him as a footballer, the energy, drive, and dedication that he has during the game is second to none. He's definitely the best right back of a generation, and I'm including everything from the noughties onwards. That's absolutely within doubt. And those are some of the best Rangers teams that we've seen. Who would you have ahead of him? Maurice Ross, like Kirk Broadfoot, Fernando Rickson? Absolutely not. I mean, you wouldn't even have Sergio Perini ahead of him. Being serious, he's captain. Yeah, okay. Well, you can point to the fact that he's had a lack of trophies, but there's 11 guys in the park, and he's just not solely responsible for that. I watched today a rerun of the fan pictures of the Leipzig game, the semi-final. Who was at the back post to score the first goal? What is a right back doing there? That is sheer will, desire from your captain, such a big game bottler, to come up there and come up with the goods. How many times have we seen him step in front of a crucial penalty and score? Or even just in open play, the European run, my God, that alone, he deserves to get there. And if you consider the players that he's playing with to do that and drag us there, he deserves a hell of a lot more respect than some of the comments here. If you look at Gary Stevens, yes, okay, he was a great right back and did really well at Everton. But did he actually do that well at Rangers? I don't actually think so. And that was a team full of internationals, as I said, when we were talking about Souness. Sandy Jardine, absolutely different kettle of fish. Was he actually a right back? Well, I don't actually think in the modern day guise of where you play, he wasn't a right back. So I don't actually think you can compare. So actually, yes, absolutely. He's the best right back we've had. We don't even need to talk about his goal record, which is absolute lunacy. Mm-hmm. For us to have a right back that scores that many goals, like we're never going to see the like again. Why are you turning your knob? Why is everyone turning their nose up at him? He's a model professional. He doesn't go out and get drunk. You never see him on the front page of the papers. Every time he just does everything for the football club, and he's not even from Glasgow. He's not even a Rangers man. But by God, he bought into it, and he defends us, and he'll continue to defend us. And yes, he'll get stuff wrong. But how many games of football does he play, and how many mistakes has he made? Not as many as you think. Give him more respect. Absolutely, 100%. Rangers' best right back.
There's your mic drop. Yeah.
I did pull up the comment, and I don't think you can. I mean, there's no way you can argue against that, Craig. Let's be honest.
I had the simple, generic comments that a lot of people say, and I love Tav. Yeah. I went down this is what I see on social media. I completely agree with what Scotty said. Whether you put him ahead of Jardine in that respect because of the slightly different role is up to people's opinions. But I think we'll look back in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, and appreciate him a lot more than people appreciate him now.
The guy doesn't get injured. The guy is constantly there. In fact, earlier in the season when he was playing through an injury, he was playing through an injury. Walk through broken glass just to get on that pitch and play for Rangers. How many players have we had over the last 30 years that would do that? You could count them on one hand. And the amount of disrespect shown to Tav, get in the bin.
I think you've won a few folk over here, Scotty. So there's no way.
I haven't won anyone over. That's Tav.
You've won over Gaz. You've got him. You've got him.
That's Tav. That's Tav's dude. It's not me.
But as the question is, does he make the? Would he be considered our best right back ever?
I'd have him up front. A front three, Coisty, Haitley, and Tav on the right. The amount of goals he scores is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Do you know what? He's worked so hard at his game as well. He's dragged us to a European final. He dragged us to 55, albeit I know that was more of a team collective, but he did definitely. He that European run. Thank you. Gave me some of the best football matches, best memories, best nights of my life. Well, it was worth it at home for that first goal in Dortmund, that penalty.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be in that stadium watching Rangers score a goal. I know we scored 4, but when that penalty went in, it was just like an absolute dream.
Yeah.
I've never heard a roar like the second goal at Dortmund at home. Never.
Yeah.
Never heard a roar like that.
What does he need to do?
Yeah.
Win the League Cup at the end of the month, win the Scottish Cup, win a league title next year. Bloody hell, what does he actually need to do?
I think he cost half of that. I think he was about 200, 250, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think it was like combined him and Waghorn were like 350 grand.
Yeah. So even the price tag alone, you know what I mean? You've got to throw that in. But I mean,
there's this one. No one's arguing what I'm saying. He doesn't make the best 11. But my point is, who does? If Sadi Jandin, if you're shoehorning Sadi Jandin, God rest his soul, absolutely fantastic footballer, into right back, which wasn't his position, then we could hypothetically argue he would have the same problems as Tav.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the pace of the game, this is no disrespect to the guys in the 60s and the 70s, it's a different ball game now. The game is played a hell of a lot faster. You have to be a hell of a lot stronger, hell of a lot more resilient, hell of a lot more quicker, and a hell of a lot better.
This is a problem now getting as well. There's a lot of people that are just stuck with the greatest 11 now, and basically it's locked in and nobody else can get in. It's a bit like Major's, the greatest 11. It's like it's a closed shop now. Nobody can get in.
Everyone should just be open mind. Just have an open mind that in your generation you're witnessing one of the greatest ever Rangers players. Embrace it, enjoy it. Think of the stories of this period that you're going to tell your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids of this right back that scored 20 odd goals a season. Not for one season, not for 2 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's when you've put it like you have, Scotty, it's very very difficult to argue against it. It's very compelling, and it's certainly a serious question that the club's got to sort of look at now. He's 2 seasons. Well, at the end of this summer, he's 2 seasons off a testimonial, 10 years. So even that alone, that deserves a lot of credit as well, because he was there when it was pretty rotten at some points, and then he didn't leave.
Oh, toxic, yeah.
So he could have easily left and went, "Oh, saw this shit show, I'm off. I've had enough of this."
If you think of how hard he worked from that championship team to the first year in the Premier League, and then when we got into Europe and that shit show, what happened in Europe, and the player from that to the player that walked that team out in Seville, it gets me a little bit emotional thinking about
just the rise when you put it all together, the rise of where we signed him from, and the journey that he's been on. It's going to be a serious question in a few years, 100%. It really is.